Enjoy the wide end. Once more to the broadcast, I'm Victoria Rubadiri. Apologies, we had an issue with an audio a bit earlier on. However, we are back on and moving on with our stories. At this hour, Kajiado Governor Joseph Ole Lenku has dismissed a petition challenging his election victory and named half his cabinet. Former Governor David Nkendianye filed a petition against Joseph Ole Lenku's election, saying he has evidence necessary to overturn his, or rather the former Interior CS's win. Ole Lenku has since dismissed the petition, saying the case was being pushed by NASA leaders. The county boss has also replaced 5 of the county executive officers and incorporated both Jubilee and NASA poll losers. The officers will be vetted by the county assembly before they take their positions.
We have no doubt that that was a requirement by the NASA fraternity, possibly to strengthen the case of the ongoing presidential campaigns. And so we want to hold it as such. I strongly don't think it has anything to do with the county governor or anything.
And the Machakos High Court has set September 14th as the new date for the election of the Kitui County Assembly Speaker. After 2 aspirants filed a petition to block the exercise, the court also gave the order to include the names of the 2 aspirants, Jeremiah Mumo and John Muneni, in the list of candidates vying for the position. The 2 had gone to court to block the election of the county speaker, saying their names had been omitted. They got temporary stay orders. A total of 7 candidates are eyeing the position.
Government printer has been given the order that they must do the gazettement before Tuesday, 11 a.m. next week. We would like to tell the Kenyan that our judiciary, they are able, because we have managed to get the orders. And as you have seen with the nullification of presidential election, the same things has happened with the seat of the Kitui, the speaker. It has been put on hold until all the aggrieved parties has been allowed to file for the election.
And 2 children, a 7-year-old boy and a 14-month-old baby girl who were allegedly abandoned by their mother for about a week, have been rescued by the county children's office in Marsabit County. The 2, who stayed without food for days, were later rushed to Marsabit General Hospital for a checkup before they were taken to a rescue home for temporary stay until the mother is found. According to neighbors, the mother, Machiluke Marsa, has always been drunk and spent most of her time at drinking joints, even during the day, and she allegedly forced her 7-year-old boy to drop out of school to take care of the 14-month-old baby.
Mimi have been observing them for the last 3 weeks. Na wapata tu watoto wakiwa nje. Kuna siku pia nilipita huko nikapata mtoto mdogo alikuwa amewekwa chini ya mti juu ya mattress. So nikaenda shughuli zangu, kurudi pia nikampata huyo mtoto ametoka juu ya mattress, ametambaa, amekaa kwa mtaro akilala pia. Na siku hiyo kulikuwa na ants pia, ilikuwa kwa uso, macho, mdomo hivi. Nikamtoa kidogo, kijana akakuja, tukamrudisha nyumbani, nikampatia maziwa kidogo, nikaachana nao.
Serikali haitavumilia kuona vitendo kama hivi vya unyama vikitendeka kwa sababu ya hawa watoto, ili aweze kushtakiwa kwa makosa ya kudhulumu watoto wake.
Na ulevi pia inachangia kwa sababu alcohol is everywhere. Hata leo tumepita hapo in town tukapata bar iko open. And that is point unapata hata huyo mama alikuwa reported lakini hatukumpata. So we are also asking the government also at least wachukue measures. Hizi mabazi iko open mchana na hizi local brews ifungwe hiyo mahali.
And the government is losing billions in revenue from publishers to the pirating of books by criminals. Well, Kenya Literature Bureau Chief Executive Victor Lomaria says book piracy is on the rise and has been a great problem for the economy.
Speaking at Batolimo Primary School during a book distribution initiative worth 1 million shillings to pupils, Lomaria said there is a looming crisis that needs to be addressed before it gets out of hand.
Anti-counterfeit agency to work closely with us so that we identify these books which are pirated, which are counterfeit, so that we eradicate this menace.
He lamented that apart from the economic challenges in the book sector, publishers and authors are losing a lot due to the runaway fraud by pirates, which has led to lower standards in the quality of content young learners get. Lomaria says the quality of education is being compromised and needs urgent action to address it.
Legislation obtaining in that area, I think, is good enough, sufficient. The only problem is enforcement and implementation. I think we don't have enough officers to assist us, either to arrest or prosecute the case to its conclusion. Why? Because maybe issue of personnel or issue of experts will go to it, will assist in terms of witnessing and writing the statements and providing the necessary evidence, which is strong enough to lead to conviction.
Principal Secretary Fred Segor said there is need for stakeholders to come together to help create a reading culture in schools. Segor said the government was committed to ensuring there is improved learning. He stated that so far, 3 people have been arrested in Kisii, Bomet, and Baringo for selling pirated books. The Bureau says it generates 6 billion, while 4 billion goes to cartels, and is urging parents to be wary of pirated books. Judith Cherono, NTV.
And residents of Kisamis village in Kajiado West Sub-County held protests against a developer who they accuse of encroaching on private land. The land is said to belong to a widow who claims she's been involved in the tussle with the developer over the 200-acre piece of land when the contractors building the SGR approached her asking to lease it for excavation of raw materials. The residents who rallied in her support marched to the local chief's office to seek audience with him. The local administration pledged to take up the matter and investigate the claims further.
Mimi sina bwana, ni Mungu tu na watoto wangu. Sisi ni wajane. Tukagawa shamba kitambo. Kila mtu ako na title yake. Kwa sababu kuna mmebarikiwa na wa China ameingia akapata ile material ambayo anataka, alafu huyo msee naitwa Njuguna akaingilia.
And Film Studios has launched a new exclusive membership card program for its clients. The 2-day event brought together the best in the industry, from filmmakers to TV broadcasters. Speaking during the inaugural film showcase event, Managing Director Kevin Muley noted that the industry has evolved over the years. The first campus live learning mentorship program was attended by hundreds of enthusiastic students eager to join the industry. This was segmented into empowerment and industry focus programs facilitated by the ARI team from Germany and Dubai. Muley said Film Studios hopes to position Kenya as a creative hub, not only locally but internationally. The membership card will now enable filmmakers to rent equipment at budget-friendly, discounted prices, as well as give them access to the best industry training and co-production opportunities.
I know we're trying, but I think we have to go to the next level. Especially African continent, we need to polish up how we tell our story. I want to tell you, as Film Studios, we're here to support you in everything you may be looking for.
It was amazing to interact with the kids, with the students. You know, if we had this during our time, I think I'd be like where I am 5 years ago.
It was quite interesting to see a room full of young people really very zealous about the film industry and TV.
The session today with the students was good. It's nice to have people who study what you do every day ask you questions, because then they ground you and they also return back a certain flavor that maybe gets lost with the wear and tear of work.
It's amazing to meet amazing young talent, young guys who are really passionate, who want to get into the industry, and they are eager and they want to know how to get in, and they're asking all sorts of questions, which is amazing.
And U.S. country music singer Don Williams, who enjoyed great success with his easygoing singing style, has died at the age of 78 after a short illness. Don Williams forged his own musical identity in the 1970s with a unique and low-key style of country that earned him the nickname The Gentle Giant. Williams had 17 #1 hits before retiring in 2016. His mellow sound influenced a later generation of singers including Joe Nichols and Josh Turner, as well as Keith Urban. Don Williams, an award-winning country singer with love ballads like I Believe in You, was born in Texas and spent the early part of his career in rock, country, and folk groups. A statement from his publicist said he died on Friday after a short illness. And now for a rerun from yesterday. Do you believe in witchcraft? Apparently, some people believed that what happened in Mombasa's Bamburi area now 3 days ago was real. But leaked CCTV footage of the incident before and during the incident, or the charade, shows that the incident was stage managed. In fact, almost all the accomplices were at the scene minutes before the drama played out. Peter Wangangi with the ploy and how it turned out.
6:32 a.m. Wednesday, outside this hardware shop in Bamburi, Mombasa. This is where it all played out. The plotters had no idea there was a CCTV camera capturing every single move they made. This man in a yellow shirt and a hat arrives on a boda on the other side of the road, together with another man in black. He has since been identified as Ronald Ganga, one of the people who claim to be medicine men. The other man would later on strip naked. At the same time, the vehicle at the center of it all drives in, and a few minutes later, the driver takes off, never to be seen again. Ronald then goes to the vehicle, a bag in hand, makes a call, then opens and gets in. But before that, he removes some cash from his pocket to pay the boda that brought them. A few minutes later, he unlocks the door and leaves. This time, he leaves without the bag, which is believed to have contained a snake, which would later be used in the incident. He then makes a call, and a person in a blue coat appears. The young man would later identify himself as Yasin Lokorobe, a medicine man from Uganda. The two live together. 6:35 a.m. The man who had gone to pay for a boda appears. He unlocks the vehicle's door. At the same time, Ronald walks by, maybe to ensure all is well, and then the two live together. 6:37 a.m. A shirtless man appears on the front passenger door. Notice he is walking soberly. He then starts washing his body with dirty water nearby. Another person then appears from the driver's side, shirtless as well, and starts walking around the vehicle. 6:39 a.m. His colleague opens the back left door and then skillfully picks up a live adult forest cobra snake, and then the drama begins. He staggers around, joins his colleague in washing themselves dirty, all the while playing with the reptile. But this does not pull in the crowd 10 minutes later, so they take it to the other level. 6:41 a.m. One of them strips naked, looking sideways to see if anyone is watching. Meanwhile, his friend is now acting like a madman, picking up litter and putting it in a bag. 2 minutes later, he joins his colleague in stripping naked. Their trick pulled off. People started trickling in, some taking videos. Then social media and word of mouth did the rest. The drama went on for close to an hour when the so-called witch doctors arrived, apparently to use their charm to bring the two men back to normal. Police also arrived and towed the vehicle to Bamburi police station. No one has claimed ownership of the vehicle to date. Police are using this video as part of the investigations and are, among other things, seeking to establish whether this is part of a cartel that operates in the western part of Kenya. But even before police came in, some details were not adding up.
Naomba tueleze jina lako na kumetokea nini?
Mimi naitwa Lucy Muli.
The lady who claimed to have hired the vehicle was later identified as Elizabeth Sarah Wetaba, but she gave NTV a different name, Lucy Muli.
Naomba jamani, sijaika kwa butua kama hii mimi maishani mwangu. Sijawahi. Hata naogopa.
Na huyo daktari ni nani?
Daktari ni daktari wangu. Namjua, na kama mnataka kumjua nitawapatia wananchi.
Hizi ni miti mbao mnaona hapa. Hizi ni dawa za kienyeji mbao tunatumia. Kuna mtu ameniuliza swali, hii kipawa ulitoa wapi? Hii kipawa mimi nilianza kuwa udogoni, dadangu na mamangu tulizaliwa watoto wawili. Babu wetu alikuwa anaitwa Zirinyamiti.
It's unbelievable some of the heights that some people can go, all in the name of making money. And now all the suspects will be in court on the 13th of September. Peter Mongangi, NTV, Mombasa.
And let's go to sports now. The Kenya Premier League gets into match day 22 this weekend with all the 18 teams in action across the country. In Saturday's fixtures, leaders Gor Mahia will host Nzoia Sugar in Kisumu. Third-placed Posta Rangers entertain Nakumatt at Uraraka Grounds, which will also host another fixture between Western Stima and Mathare United. Bandari host Kariobangi Sharks in Mombasa as Muhoroni Youth entertain Ulinzi Stars at the Muhoroni Grounds on Sunday. Second place Sofapaka host Chemelil at Narok Stadium as defending champions Tusker face Sony Sugar in Awendo. AFC Leopards will face Zoo in Kericho. And Manchester City welcome Liverpool to the Etihad in an early kickoff for the English Premier League. The league resumes after the international break and the closure of the campaigning in Nairobi County today. Brenda Wanga has been standing by following the proceedings there. President Uhuru Kenyatta will be addressing supporters at Uhuru Park. You can see there they are being entertained. The other stops for the Jubilee team today will be Haile Selassie, Muthurwa, Machakos Country Bus Station, and of course Uhuru Park, where they have gathered. This kicking off their weekend campaigns. They have been awfully busy ever since the Supreme Court had announced a fresh presidential election, and this being their stop in Nairobi County to drum up support and hunt for votes in the country's capital of Nairobi. We'll be keeping tabs on that throughout the day once President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy arrive and address their supporters there. Now, Alvaro Jimenez's late goal saw Getafe claim a 2-1 win over La Liga rivals hosts Leganes. Mauro Arap. on in Narok for the NASA leaders. They are heading there, campaigning there throughout the day. Bridges Ngana has been following the activities there. You can see Raila Odinga about to address the crowd there. They were speaking also in Ewaso Nyiro a bit earlier on to their supporters as they seek votes in that part of the country. We'll be keeping eyes on the campaigns there in Narok and, of course, in Uhuru Park in Nairobi, where Jubilee is campaigning. That's the very latest from the NTV newsroom at this hour. Thanks for watching. I'm Victoria Rubadiri. More coming up in the sporting world on Top Sport. Stay tuned for that coming up just after this.